mind to external thoughts and the heart to external emotions. Deep inhale and exhale, and while exhaling, we'll be chanting the name of the omniscient, omnipresent, all just, and all merciful Ishwar God. There's an echo and a buzzing sound. Could you please just mute your mics? Gayatri Mantra in the form of bhajan. Om Bhurbhuvah Svah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat तूने हमें उत्पन्न किया पालन कर रहा है तो तुझसे ही पाते प्राण हम दुखियों के कष्ट हरता है तो तेरा महान तेज है छाया हुआ सभी स्थान सृष्टि की वास्तु वास्तु में तू हो रहा है विद्यमान तेरा ही धरते ध्यान हम मांगते तेरी दया ईश्वर हमारी बुद्धि को श्रेष्ठ मार्ग पर चला दाता हमारी बुद्धि को श्रेष्ठ मार्ग पर चला ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. Slowly, gently open the eyes and keep the focus. Atheshwara Stuti Prathanopasana Mantra. 8 mantras. Stuti, praising the virtuous, noble qualities of Ishwar God, so that gradually, slowly, we may filter these qualities into our life and in turn be virtuous in our deeds at the level of the mind, at the level of speech and writings and physical deeds. Prarthana, just remember Rishi Dayanand's words, प्रार्थना के बिना, पुरुषार्थ के बिना प्रार्थना सफल नहीं होता है. So we have a duty, obligation to put up all mental and physical efforts to realize the prayers, and Upasana is meditation, communion with the Almighty Ishvara. Om Vishwani Deva Savitar Duritani Parasuva Yad Bhadram Tanna Asuva हिरण्यगर्भसमवर्तताग्रे भूतस्य जातः पतिरेकासीत् सदाधारपृथिवीं द्यामुते मां कस्मै देवाय हविषाविधेम ॐ य आत्मदा बलदा यस्य विश्वा उपासते प्रशिशं यस्य देवा यस्य छायामृतं यस्य मृत्यो कस्मै देवाय हविषाविधेम ॐ यः प्राणतो निमिषतो महित्वैक इन्द्रा जगतो बभूव य ईशे यस्य द्विपादश्चतुष्पदः कस्मै देवाय हविषाविधेम. So in the first mantra, Savita, creator of this whole universe, and our prayers are Duritani Parasava, Durgun Durvyasan, or Dukhon ko dur kar dijiye, remove our ills, evils, pains and sufferings. And then Yad Bhadran Tanna Asuva, give us all that is beneficial for us and for all around us. Second mantra says Hiranya Garbha, and then Patireka Asit. The creator of this universe, referred to as Hiranya Garbha, the golden womb, and Patireka Asit, the one and only protector, guardian, ruler of this whole universe. Then Sadadhara Prithvim, he is the one who sustains the orderly setup in the universe, sustaining life. And then Kasmai Devaya Vishavidhema, we pledge to be true devotees of Ishwar God by following the instructions and the guidance given to us in the Vedas and either inner voice and the physical sciences in this universe. Then Ya Atmada Balada, again Ishvara as the giver of life, giver of physical, mental, moral, spiritual and social strength, the holistic approach to well-being. For what purpose? Upasate, Ishwar ki upasana karna, be in communion with Ishwar God. What for? Amritam, yasya chaya amritam, to be in the shelter and in the bliss of Ishwar God. Then Yah Pranato Nimishato, Pranato, so the ruler of this universe who protects not only living beings but also inanimate objects in this universe. And then refers to Mahitveka Idraja, Ek Raja Virajman hai, one and only Ishwar God in this universe. And the purpose here is Ya Ishe Asya Dvipada Chatushpada. Dvipad, the bipeds, Chatushpad, the quadrupeds. That's in the physical sense, but in the spiritual sense, the Dvipad means those who follow only earth and calm, that is, earn a living and enjoy life. And the Chatushpad is the one who follows the path of goodness, the path of righteousness, dharma, to earn living, to enjoy that life, and ultimately be detached from the cycle of birth and death, to be in Mukti Moksha, in the bliss of Ishvara. Om ye nadyaurugra prithivi chadridha yena swastabhidam yena naka यो अन्तरिक्षे रजसो विमानः कस्मै देवाय हविषा विधेम ॐ प्रजापते नत्वदेतान्यो विश्वा जातानि परिता बभूव यत्कामास्ते जोमस्तन्नो अस्तु वयं स्यामपतयोरयीनाम् ॐ स नो बन्धुर्जनिता सविधाता धामानि वेदभुवनानि विश्वा यत्र देवा अमृतमानशानास्त्रितीये धामन्नद्यैरयन्त ॐ अग्नेनय सुपथारायेऽस्मान् विश्वानि देववयुनानि विद्वान् युयोध्यस्मज्जोरानमेनो भूयिष्ठान्तेन मौक्तिं विधेम. In these 4 mantras, you are praying to Ishvara God. The first is Yena Dyorugra Prithvi Chadridha. So, Ishvara God, as the creator, the sustainer, and ultimately will be the dissolver of this universe. We pledge to activate all the goodness within us. Ultimately do good and reach the goodness, the bliss of Ishvara God, and be free from pains and sufferings endured in the cycles of birth and death. And in that situation will be as the birds flying free in the sky, will be enjoying the bliss of Ishvara like that. The next mantra says Prajapati Datvadeta. The whole universe, living and non-living beings, are all the Praja, the kith and kin of Ishvara God. Under the protection of such almighty, all-powerful Ishvara God, we say that let's be masters of both material and spiritual treasures. Vayam Syama Patayorainam. The next mantra says Sano Bandhur Janita. So it describes our relationship with Ishvara God. And the first relationship is Mata. We always sing Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva. So his mother, then father as Pita, then Bandhu as sibling, then Sakha as friend, and then Guru as the giver of knowledge and the eternal guide within us. So following all these principles, then we'll be protected from ills and evils, and will always be moving to do goodness and to protect others. Then Agnenaya Supatharayasman. Agni, the physical light, the physical energy, but also it's the light of knowledge, the energy of knowledge, bringing us to be in the company of elderly and knowledgeable persons to be able to benefit from their guidance, from their knowledge, from their life experiences, and move ahead in life by getting the 10 steps forward. That was Iti Ishwara Stuti Prasna Prakaranam. Now let's move for Archman. Please take water in the right palm for Archman. So you all have the water in front of you. आचमन के लिए सीधे हाथ में जल लेंगे. फर्स्ट आचमन. ओम अमृतोपस्तर नमसि स्वाहा. Second time. Om Amritapidanamasi Swaha. Third time. Om Satyam Yashashirmahi Sheshayatam Swaha. Wash your hands and take water in the left palm. Using the middle and ring finger, we are going to touch various parts of the body, praying to Ishvara God that He drives our soul, and the soul now as the charioteer of the mind and the different senses, driving all the organs towards righteous actions. सुपथ पर चलने के लिए ये सब इंद्रियां हमारे सहायक बने. Always on your right side, then on your left side, and at the end of the mantra. Om Vangmasyastu, Om Nasormi Pranostu, Om Akshanormi Chakshurastu, Om Karnayormi Shrotramastu, Om Bahormi Balamastu, Om Urvorma Ujustu, Om Rishtani Mangani Tanustanvame Sasanto. Lighting of the lamp. Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha. Light the lamp and then introduce the fire into the Havan Kund with the next mantra. Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha. Dyorīva Bhumna Prithiviva Varimna Tasyaste Prithivi Devayajani Prishthe Agnimanada Mannadyaya Dadhe. Agni Samindhan mantra. If you have the Havan Kund, then you take the spoon and sprinkle 3-4 spoonfuls of ghee to get the fire blazing. Om Udbudhya Svagne Pratija Grihitva Purte Sansrijetamayancha Asmin Sadhaste Adyutarasmin Vishve Deva Yajamanascha Sidata. Samidhadan. First Samidha would stick deep into ghee and offer when we say Swaha. Om Mayanta Idmatma Jata Vedaste Nidya Swavardha Swachidda Vardhaya Chasman Prajaya Pashubhir Brahma Varchase Nanadyena Samedhaya Swaha. Idam Agnaye Jata Vedase Idan Namama. Second Samidha. We have 2 mantras here. It will be at the second Swaha that will be giving the offering. Om Samidhagnim Duvasyata Griter Bordayata Tithim Asmin Havya Jotana Svaidamagne Idan Namama. Om Susamidhaya Shrotishe Gritam Tibram Jotana Agnaye Jata Vedase Swaha. Idam Agnaye Jata Vedase Idan Namama. Third Samidha. Om तन्त्वा समिद्भिरङ्गिरो घृतेन वर्धयामसि बृहच्छोषाय विष्ठ्य स्वाहा idam agnengirase idam namama. Now offerings of ghee to the Havan Kun. If you have the lamp, you can still offer ghee to the lamp, drop-wise to the lamp. Just symbolical ahutis. Om Mayanta idmatma jata vedaste nedyasvardhasva chedda vardhaya Tasman prajaya pashuvirmavarchase नान्नाद्येन समेधय स्वाहा idam agnaye jatvedase idam namama Om ayanta idmatma jatavedaste nedyasvardhasva chedda vardhaya Chasman prajaya pashuvirbrahmavarchase नान्नाद्येन समेधय स्वाहा idam agnaye jatvedase idam namama Om ayanta idmatma jatavedaste nedyasvardhasva chedda vardhaya Chasman prajaya pashuvirbrahmavarchase नान्नाद्येन समेधय स्वाहा idam agnaye jatvedase idam namama Om ayanta idmatma jatavedaste nedyasvardhasva chedda vardhaya Chasman prajaya pashuvirbrahmavarchase नान्नाद्येन समेधय स्वाहा idam agnaye jatvedase idam namama Om ayanta idmatma jatavedaste nedyasvardhasva chedda vardhaya Chasman prajaya pashuvirbrahmavarchase नान्नाद्येन समेधय स्वाहा idam agnaye jatvedase idam namama In this mantra, coincidentally, we are offering 5 ahutis of ghee to get the fire blazing, because next would be ahuti, shortly after would be ahutis of both ghee and samagri. So by getting the fire blazing, we'll get the optimum benefits while giving the offerings of ghee, of samagri also, because that would enable the blazing fire to spread the medicinal herbs as microparticles into the atmosphere, and these vapors, when we inhale, that will boost our immunity as well as ward off airborne viruses and bacteria. Coincidentally, this mantra we are asking God for 5 things. Prajaya, that is our kith and kin, enlighten our life, bringing us joy, bringing us peace, and be brilliant in whatever they do in life. And being brilliant means they earn well, they earn both material and spiritual treasures well, and they be good citizens of this world. Second is Pashu. So the domestic animals that we have be also peaceful to us. In the olden times it was Gai, Bakri, Adi. So now probably we have only cats and dogs. So if we look at them well, then they'll also be good companions to us. Then Brahma Varchas, Brahma Tej, Ishvara, giving us the knowledge of the Vedas, the physical sciences in this universe, and so many things from where we learn. And those things that we learn enable us to make effective and efficient use of knowledge as well as be brilliant in life. Then always pray and strive to keep good, nutritious, health-promoting food for good physical health. Then Samedhaya, like Samedhas going into the Havan Kun, just become blazing and become the fire-like. So when we are sitting down in praise, prayer, worship, devotion of Ishvara God, Let's totally immerse ourselves in that. And when we are chanting the virtuous qualities of Ishvara, let's immerse ourselves in those virtuous qualities. And in turn, like the Samhita which goes into the fire becomes blazing, will also, when we are immersed in those virtuous qualities of Ishvara, will become virtuous. And that's the efficient and effective use of all the things that we'll be praying for, including knowledge. Now, Jal Sejanam, first on the east side, Purva Disha. Om Aditenu Manyasva. Second on the west, Paschim Disha. Om Anumatenu Manyasva. Third on the north side, Uttar Disha. Om Saraswatyanu Manyasva. Now it would be all around the Havan Kund at the end of the mantra, all around the lamp that you have, starting from northeast, going clockwise and finishing at the point where we started, the northeast corner. This is the Ishan Disha, and this is the main source of physical light with sunrise in summer in the northern hemisphere. That's why we take it Ishan Disha is the most beneficial cardinal, sub-cardinal point for us and bringing us to that light of knowledge. Om Deva Savita Prasuvayajyam Prasuvayajyapatim Bhagaya Divyo Gandharva Keta Puke Tanna Punatu Vachaspatir Vachanna Swadatu. Now Aghara Vajyahuti, first in the north side, second in the southern side, pouring the ghee in the stream form from northwest to northeast, southwest to southeast, and after that it will be in the center of the Havan Kund. Om Agnaye Svaha Idam Agnaye Idam Namama. South. Om Somaya Svaha Idam Somaya Idam Namama. Center. Om Prajapataye Svaha Idam Prajapataye Idam Namah. Om Indraya Svaha Idam Indraya Idam Namah. Offerings of both ghee and samagri to the Havan Kund. Om Pratakalin Ahuti Surya Jyoti. Surya refers to the sun, the physical light in the morning. Om Suryo Jyotir Jyoti Surya Svaha. Om Suryo Varcho Jyotir Varcha Svaha. Om Jyoti Surya Suryo Jyoti Svaha. Om Sajur Devena Savitra Sajuru Shasandраvatya Jushana Suryavetu Svaha. Now, Sayankalin Ahuti for the evening refers to Agni, the physical light that we use in the evening. Om Agnir Jyotir Jyotiragni Svaha. Om Agnir Varcho Jyotir Varcha Svaha. Om Svaha. Om Sajur Devena Savitra Sajuratrendраvatya Jushanu Agnirvetu Svaha. Now, ahutis for both morning and evening. Om, remember it says Bhuragnaye Pranaya Svaha, Bhurvaive Apanaya Svaha, Swaradityaya Vyanaya Svaha, indicating to us to synchronize our breathing system with the chanting of the mantras, so that when we synchronize our breath, we'll be able to inhale to the maximum the vapors of the medicinal herbs forming part of the samagri and the ghee, and that will boost our immunity and then also helps us to optimize oxygen in our bloodstream and nourish the whole body. So that's promoting physical health, which will also promote mental and spiritual health. Om Bhuragnaye Pranaya Swaha Idam Agnaye Pranaya Idam Namama Om Bhuvarvaive Panaya Swaha Idam Vaive Panaya Idam Namama Om Swaradityaya Vyanaya Swaha Idamadityaya Vyanaya Idam Namama Om Bhurvaswaragnivaivaditebhya pranapanavyanabhya Swaha Idam Agnivaivaditebhya pranapanavyanabhya Idam Namama Om Apo Jyotirasomritam Brahmavurvaswarom Swaha Om Yam Medham Devagana Pitarashopasate Taya Mamadhyamedhayagni Medhavinam Kuru Swaha Om Vishwani Deva Savitaradurtani Parasva Yadbhadram Tannasva Swaha Om Agnena Yaspathara Yasman Vishwani Deva Vayunani Vidwan Yuyodhyasmadjoranameno Bhuishtante Namopyam Vidhema Swaha Om Bhurvuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo yo nah prachodayat Swaha Om Vishwani Deva Savitar Durtani Parasva Yadbhadram Tannasva Swaha. The next 4 ahutis will be only ghee, no samagri please. Om Agnaye Swaha Idam Agnaye Idam Namama Om Somaya Swaha Idam Somaya Idam Namama Om Prajapataye Swaha Idam Prajapataye Idam Namama Om Indraya Swaha Idam Indraya Idam Namama. Now ahutis of both ghee and samagri will be praying to Ishwar God for Medha Buddhi, the enlightened mind. Om Sadasaspati Madbhutam Priyamindrasya Kamyam Sanim Medhamaya Sisham Swaha Om Yam Medham Devagana Pitarashopasate Taya Mamadhyamedhayagni Medhavinam Kuru Swaha Om Vishwani Deva Savitaradurtani Parasva Yadbhadram Tannasva Swaha Om Medham Me Varudo Dadatu Medham Agni Prajapati Medham Indrascha Vayuscha Medham Dadatu Me Swaha Om Anu Bhadra Kratavo Yantu Vishwato Dabdhaso Paritaso Bhida Devano Yatha Veda Samasadvridheya Sanna Prayuvo Rakshitaro Dive Dive Swaha Om Devanam Bhadra Sumatirrijo Yatam Devanam Ratirabhino Nivartatam Devanam Sakyamupasedya Devanam Sakyamupasedima Vayam Devanayu Pratirantu Jivase Swaha. Now 3 times Gayatri Mantra and 3 times Mahamrityunjay Mantra, and we'll finish with Purnahuti. Om Bhurvuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo yo nah prachodayat Swaha Om Bhurvuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुक्मीव वन्दनान् मृत्युर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् स्वाहा ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुक्मीव वन्दनान् मृत्युर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् स्वाहा ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुक्मीव बन्धनान् मृत्युर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् स्वाहा पूर्णाहुति ॐ सर्वं वै पूर्णं स्वाहा ॐ सर्वं वै पूर्णं स्वाहा ॐ सर्वं वै पूर्णं स्वाहा Put everything down, join the palms together and close the eyes gently, praying to Ishwar God through Mahabam Devyagan, free mantras from Samved, Sukh, happiness, Shanti, peace, Samriddhi, progress and prosperity. Om Bhurvubhuvah Swaha Om Bhurvubhuvah Swaha Kayanashchitra Bhuvadoti Sada Vridha Sakha Kayashachishtaya Vrita Om Bhurvuvah Swaha Om Bhurvuvah Swaha Kastva Satyo Madanam Manghishto Matsadandasa Dhridachidarujevaso Om Bhurvuvah Swaha Om Bhurvuvah Swaha Abhishona Sakhinam Avita Charitranam Shatam Bhavasyutaye Om Bhurvuvah Swaha Om Bhurvuvah Swaha Dhananjay ji, jetzt Prarthana please.
हमारे भाव उज्ज्वल कीजिए छोड़ दे में छल कपट को मानसिक बल दीजिए वेद की बोले दिशा सत्य को धारण करे हर्ष में हो मग्न सारे शोक सागर से तरे अश्वमेधाधिक रचाए यज्ञ पर उपकार को धर्म मर्यादा चला कर लाभ दे संसार को नित्य श्रद्धा भक्ति से यज्ञादि हम करते रहें जो पीड़ित विश्व के संताप भावना मिट जाए मन से, पाप अत्याचार की कामनाएं पूर्ण होवे, यज्ञ से नर नार की लाभकारी हो हवन हर जीवधारी के लिए, वायु जल सर्वत्र हो शुभ गंध को धारण किए, स्वार्थ भाव मिटे हमारा, प्रेम पथ विस्तार हो, इदं न मम का सार्थक प्रत्येक में व्यवहार हो, प्रेम रस में मग्न होकर वंदना हम कर रहे, नाथ करुणा रूप करुणा आपकी सब पर रहे, पूजनीय प्रभु हमारे भाव उज्ज्वल कीजिए, छोड़ दीजिए छल कपट को, मानसिक बल दीजिए, आत्मिक बल दीजिए। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्, सबका भला करो भगवान, सब पर दया करो भगवान, सब पर कृपा
Now we feel sleepy. Now we feel sleepy.
सब विधि हो कल्याण, ईश सब सुखी हो, कोई न हो दुखारी, सब हो निरोग भगवन, धन धान्य के भंडारी, सब भाद्र भाव देखे, सन्मार्ग के पथिक हों, दुखिया न कोई होवे, सृष्टि में प्राणधारी, हे नाथ सब सुखी हो, कोई न हो दुखारी, सब हो निरोग भगवन, धन धान्य के भंडारी,
Even an acid there.
माता पिता त्वमेव,
Witness.
त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव
Just when I get ready.
Like in that way.
देव।
Now, Ashirvad. Sit down straight, close the eyes gently, bring your focus
Use the journal.
to Ishar God.
This
But the
is
grace of Ishar is always flowing within us and all around us. Suffice, we have to make ourselves the proper recipient to receive the grace of Almighty Ishar. What happens is that most of the time we just be like the strainer or the colander and expect that to be full. No, we have to fill up, to patch up all the holes in our life. And the holes are ignorance, ego, hatred, infatuation, etc. So dropping those will patch up the holes and become the appropriate recipient of the grace of Ishvara.
yeah, right.
Join the palms together. Swasti mantra. Before that, the three mantras. Om Satya Santo Yajamanasya Kama. Om Purna Santo Yajamanasya Kama. Om Safala Santo Yajamanasya Kama. So it says Satya Santo. May the wishes of the Yajaman be truthful. Purna Santo, the truthful wishes of the Yajaman be complete. And Safala Santo, the truthful wishes of the Yajman be complete with 100% success. Swasti Mantra. Om Swasti na Indro Vridhashrava Swasti na Pusha Vishvaveda Swasti nastaksharyo Arishtanemi Swasti no Brihaspatir Dadatu Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrinuyama Deva Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiriyajatra Sthirairangaishtoshtamang Sastanurvirvyashemai Devahitam Yadayu Om Swasti Swasti Swasti. For all those who celebrated the special days, or recovering from sickness, or wishing for health, progress, and prosperity, those 4 lines dedicated to you. भगवान इस परिवार को सुख का सदा वरदान दो, ज्ञान की गंगा बहाकर शुद्ध वैदिक ज्ञान दो, निरोग होकर सब जिए शतवर्ष आयुष्मान हो, धन धान्य से पूरित सदा यश युक्त कीर्तिमान हो, पुत्र पौत्रादिक सभी बलवान हो, श्रीमान हो, विद्वान हो, मतिमान हो, धर्मात्मधीमान हो. ओम शांति शांति शांति. Now time for bhajan. Any volunteer, please? Nitaji with one bhajan. Kamlesh ji. I can't hear you, Dhananjay ji, you on mute.
आचार्य जी आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा है.
It's time for bhajan. Now? Hello?
आचार्य जी आपका आवाज कहीं माइक्रोफोन गिर गया है क्या, या डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया?
Hello? That is coming now?
अभी भी बहुत धीमा आवाज है.
Must be.
Start the bhajan.
That is better?
कोई भी धीमा है देखिएगा. कमलेश जी
Okay.
स्टार्ट द भजन.
आज पंडिता
Volunteer for the bhajan.
आज उनको
पंडिता. अच्छा,
give somebody else the chance. Okay? पंडिता जी.
ओके पंडिता जी भजन प्लीज. पंडिता जी.
I don't have the voice.
I'll just be leaving and signing again just to check my sound.
You call on me to sing, Acharya ji?
Yes, please. You can start.
Oh. दयालु दया कर दया कर दया कर ये प्याला मेरा प्रेम अमृत से दी भर दयालु दया कर रहे एकता मन वचन और कर्म में अटल भक्ति हो मेरी वैदिक धर्म में सच्चाई सदा अच्छी संगत में रहने का दोवर सदा अच्छी संगत में रहने का दोवर दयालु दया कर दयालु दया कर सच्चाई की खातिर मैं अंग अंग कटाऊं आई मृत्यु तो भी प्रभु मुस्कुराओ धर्म देश के काम आई मेरा सर धर्म देश के काम आई मेरा सर दयालु दया कर दया कर दया कर मेरे मन के मंदिर में प्रकाश कर दो मेरे मन के मंदिर में प्रकाश कर दो अविद्या का अंधकार का नाश कर दो नियत करता नंद लाल मस्तक झुका कर नियत करता नंद लाल मस्तक झुका कर दयालु दया कर दया कर दया कर दयालु दया कर दया कर दया कर ये प्याला मेरा प्रेम अमृत से दी भर दयालु दया कर दयालु दया कर थैंक यू
Thank you, Pandita ji. My voice is reaching you now. Can you hear me?
Still very low, but okay, we can continue. Suddenly it became low.
I've tried the 3 different speakers. Om. That is better. Okay, that's fine. So धनंजय जी आप सूचनाएं वेलकम कर दीजिए फिर मैं टेक ओवर.
Okay, everyone. Welcome to our weekly services from Atlanta. We went with my Havankum today. From the Havankum that we are doing everyday yajna. So Yajnan Saraswati Havankum, and we are having Vedic yajna every day evening. Part of Navratri, celebrating tomorrow, the last day, we will have the Rama Dahan, and then we have Dandiya and Garba program also.
Screen, right? You just throw the water.
And tomorrow we will be completing this Navratri, and after Ram Dahan, we conclude this program. If anything more, Acharya, if you want to add.
Yeah, I take over now for the lecture.
Sound now come out, Acharya.
So, sorry,
Here too good.
voice is clear? No. Can you hear me?
Yes, it's clear. Yes, it's very
Yeah,
low,
okay.
but it's clear.
I think I'll have to remedy the laptop. Okay, no problem. Let's sit down straight to Om Jap 3 times to bring our focus. And then we'll have a short bhajan and have the lecture. Deep inhale and exhale, and while exhaling, we'll chant the name of Ishwar God. Slowly, gently open the eyes. One bhajan. Bela amrit gaya alsi sora ban bhaga साथी सारे जगे तू न जागा बेला अमृत गया आलसी सोरा बन भागा साथी सारे जगे तू न जागा झोलियां भर रहे भाग्य वाले झोलियां भर रहे भाग्य वाले लाखों पतितों ने जीवन संभाले रंक राजा बने भक्ति रस में सने कष्ट भागा साथी सारे जगे तू न जागा बेला अमृत गया आलसी सोरा बन भागा साथी सारे जगे तू न जागा कर्म उत्तम थे नर्तन जो पाया आलसी बन के हीरा गवाया कर्म उत्तम थे नर्तन जो पाया आलसी बन के हीरा गवाया उल्टी हो गई मति करके अपनी क्षति चोला त्यागा साथी सारे जगे तू न जागा बेला अमृत गया आलसी सोरा बन भागा साथी सारे जगे तू न जागा धर्म वेदों का न देखा बाला बेला अमृत गया न संभाला धर्म वेदों का न देखा भाला बेला अमृत गया न संभाला सौदा घाटे का कर होंगे माथे पर धर रोने लगा, साथी सारे जगे तो न जागा। बेला अमृत गया, आलसी सो रहा, बन्ना भागा, साथी सारे जगे तो न जागा। बंदे कुछ भी न तूने विचारा, सिर से ऋषियों का ऋण उतारा। बंदे कुछ भी न तूने विचारा, सिर से ऋषियों का ऋण उतारा। हंस का रूप था, गदला पानी पिया, बन के कागा, साथी सारे जगे तो न जागा। बेला अमृत गया, आलसी सो रहा, बन्ना भागा, साथी सारे जगे तू न जागा। साथी सारे जगे तू न जागा। आत्मीय बंधु, friends in soul, welcome to everybody who have joined us on Zoom and on YouTube. Special welcome to Pandita ji, to Dr. Deenbandhu Chandora ji, and to Kamlesh ji, Vijay ji who are here. Anand Sri Ram ji is also from, I think, Toronto. Shruti ji from Toronto. And to everybody present joining us here. By the grace of Ishwar God, the yaj for today is over. Be grateful to that omnipresent Sarvavyapak, the omniscient Sarvajya, the all-just Nyayakari and the all-merciful Dayalu Ishwar God, for having given us the opportunity, the day of today, to participate in this Yajya and Satsang, for the knowledge He's given to us through the Vedas unfolded for us by the Rishis, and for the light, physical light, and the light of knowledge, the physical sciences in the universe, and the creation which sustains our life. You are the duty to every day and whenever possible pay gratitude to Ishwar God. And paying gratitude to Ishwar God just makes us humble in life, shunning ego, and just enables us to develop compassion within us. We'll be celebrating Vijayadashami shortly, the victory of Sri Ram over Ravan. And in that context, I've taken one mantra from the Atharva Ved, and which is also there in the Shanti Karan. Om Abhayam Mitrad, Abhayam Amitrad, Abhayam Jatad, Abhayam Parokshat, Abhayam Naktam Bhayam Divana, Sarvashamam Mitram Bhavanto. It says, हे अभय प्रभु, हमें मित्र से भय न हो, अमित्र से भय न हो, जाने हुए न जाने हुए से भय न हो। दिन और रात्रि सभी कालों हमारे लिए निर्भीक हों, सब दिशाएं मेरे लिए मित्र सदृश। It says, praying to Ishwar God, and remember, prayers are only successful when we put up our physical and mental efforts. So Abhayam Mitra, we should be fearless with our friends. abhayam amitrad, with those whom we don't know and who are not friendly to us. We shouldn't be nurturing fear within us. For the known and for the unknown, that also we should be fearless. We should also be fearless both during day and night, and we shouldn't be fearing anything from any direction. This is where the Vedas guide us to. And if we look into the life of Sri Ram, when he had to confront difficult situations, when he was sent to the Kutiya of Rishi Valmiki to fight the Rakshas and to protect Yajya, he was fearless. Even in the dire times, he was about to be coronated, but then he received the orders to march to the forest in exile. He was fearless. And for some time, he was under the grief of Sita being kidnapped. But then he again got back to self-composure and faced Ravan in the battle in the fearless way. So the Vedas also teaches us, Mitra amitra jane anjane din raat abhay banave, sabhi dishaएं mitra bane जीवन में निर्भयता लावे. Let's be fearless, whatever be the circumstances, be it favorable or be it dire times. Let's be fearless in life. Actually, so many people around the world are celebrating the Sharadiya Navratri. And let's try to decode the image which artists have made, taking the name of Durga from one of the attributes of Ishwar God. The artist has made a beautiful picture with 10 arms, heavily armed, and riding a lion to combat evil and protect good. And if we take that, translate it into our life, Durga symbolizes the Atma, the soul within the human body, and riding the lion, the brave, unwavering mental and emotional countenance, disposition that has been given to us by God. The 10 arms, each with a weapon, correspond to the tremendous Shakti which result from control over the 10 senses, the 5 senses of perception, taste, smell, sight, hearing and touch and speech, and the 5 senses of working senses or organs of actions, grasping hand, locomotion the feet, excretion, reproduction and speech. Then how and why do we attain this mastery? Mastery is achieved through austerity, through penance, by enduring to some extent adverse situations, developing resilience within us. थोड़ा सा भूख, थोड़ा सा प्यास सहन कर लो, थोड़ा सा ठंडे और थोड़ा सा गर्मी भी सहन कर लो. That reinforces our physical strength and at the same time will enable us to be compassionate in life when we see people suffering, because we've understood suffering to some extent. We can understand the suffering in the world and then arm ourselves to relieve people from evil, from pains, from sufferings, from afflictions. And what are those things that we need to confront in life? We're always standing at the crossroads when we have to take decisions in life. Whether we'll be truthful or we'll give way to untruth. Whether we'll continue on the path of righteous living or take the shortcuts. Whether we'll be responsible or just be uncaring or negligent. Whether we'll be moderate in life or plunge into overindulgence. So that's a choice. These are the choices generally that we are confronted with. And where do we get these problems? Where we did get these confrontations? It's always at every corner or every turn in life. These decisions need to be taken. And remember these dualities, truth, untruth, whether to tread on the path of dharma or adharma, whether to be kartavya, responsible, or to tread on akartavya, be negligent, whether to be moderate in life with sanyam, or whether we'll just plunge into excesses, extravagance, which is asanyam. These first come to us as thoughts, then flows into our words as speech or writings, and then physical actions. So what we need to do is the soul driving the mind, putting the brakes there when need be, and allowing the mind to go when that's on the good track. When? It's at all the times. If we are ever mindful, not just for 9 days, but throughout life, we'll get used to facing the challenges, overcoming the challenges of life, and overcoming evil and promote goodness. That is awakening what we say, the Durga within ourselves. Praise, unfortunately, as we say today, throughout the world, has been reduced only to a lip service affair. Let's put the efforts, continuous efforts, to realize what we are praying for. Ishvara, the divine guide within us, always prompting us to that. And that's the importance of learning yoga and meditation, to be able to silence the mental activities and the emotional activities, catch that divine guidance, and use your judgment and tread on the path of truth, on the path of dharma, on the path of asserting ourselves in our duties and responsibilities, and be always moderate in life. Never give way to untruth, never give way to adharma, never give way to negligence, and never give way to excesses in life. This is what the gist of the Vedic universal values tells us, because shortcuts may be beneficial for some time in the short term, but in the long term will leave to regret for that. Remember, the Shanti Party is one example where we are chanting for universal peace, but then we don't put the questions to ourselves at each turn whether we are peaceful to each and every elements of this universe. The fight is against what or who? The fight is against avidya, ignorance, false knowledge. The fight is against ego, the concept of me, mine and myself, and that also caring only for the physical level, instead of taking the holistic approach of mind, body, spirit or soul. Then we have to fight against infatuation, inordinate attachment, fight against hatred, aversion, and fight to the tendency to cling to things, like clinging to posts, clinging to positions, clinging to self-aggrandizement, and with a feeling that we are always indispensable. No. There's one beautiful poem on indispensability, which teaches us, if we want to know how far we are indispensable to this world, let's look at great men in this world. They've always left the world, but left the footprints on this sense of time, which always motivate others to be good. And indispensability in short form, let's fill a bucket of water, make a fist, plunge the fist there, remove the fist, and the hole that is left in the water, this is the level of how far we are indispensable. God has given us multitasking and multi-skilling abilities in terms of the physical, mental, emotional faculties. With a universe which is full loaded of physical sciences, with the Vedas as the foundations of ethical living, of physical, social, spiritual sciences. And these multitasking abilities, if we have to put in a picture, we'll also tend to put them as numerous hands or numerous heads without thinking abilities. These are not real, these are only symbolical. These are only a figurative, illustrative explanation of the different faculties that we have. So the lesson here is Charitra ki puja kare, Chitra ki puja nahi. So it's Charitra puja rather than Chitra puja. And let's look at the 10-armed icon of Durga. First, the lion symbolizes fearlessness, and this is what the mantra which I used. Abhayam mitra, dabhayam amitra, dabhayam jata, dabhayam paroksha. Let's be fearless. Fearless even if we have to confront our friends or those who are not friendly to us. If we have to confront the known or the unknown, if we have to confront things during the day or during the night, let's maintain that level-headedness. And the fight is against the demon of lust, of anger, of greed, of obsession, of individualism, etc. And remember, the Bhakt is not the one who just keep on chanting without doing the karma. The karma is equally important. Praise, prayer, worship, meditation is one part. That is only half of the story. And the other half of the story is execution of those guidance and the instructions. Just like when we say Matri Bhakt, Pitri Bhakt or Guru Bhakt is the child following the guidance of the parents and the teachers and just implementing that in life. So let's put up our physical and mental efforts to go to that. Let's look at the illustration, the weapons in the hands which is in the picture. We see the Trishul. The Trishul goes on the basis of Traitavad. Just know the free eternal things of this universe. Ishvara, Jeev and Prakriti. Ishvara, God, Jeev, the soul, and Prakriti, the primordial elements of that goes into the creation of this universe. These are the free eternal things in this universe. And these remain the same during dissolution. And Prakriti itself has three components: Satogun, Rajogun and Tamogun. So it depends on what we nurture. If we nurture more of Satogun, we'll develop purity of body, mind and spirit. There again free. Body, mind and spirit. We'll be careful on our ahar, vichar, vyavahar. On our food, ahar, on our thoughts, vichar, and our vyavahar, behavior. will be also just nurturing devotion towards and trying to fulfill Pitririn, Rishirin and Devrin, our duties and obligations towards our parents, Pitririn, towards our gurus, and to Ishwar God for the knowledge that He's given to us, the Rishirin, and the Devrin for all the creation that is there which sustains life. So if we stay free like this, we can also go more into details. But let's take it there. The free Ishwaraji Prakriti, recognize these are the free generals of this universe. Then Satogun, Rajogun and Tamogun, let's bring ourselves to be more inclined on Satogun for purity of body, mind and spirit, for purity of food, for purity of thoughts and purity of behavior. And that is going to create a better world. The Sudarshan Chakra, or the discus, it shows the center of the creation. And the center of goodness in this world is me. When I spread the goodness all around to my friends and relatives, it just vibrates and reaches the four corners of the globe. The Vajra, or the mace, it shows that we have to be of firm character, of determination, and of the striking power that whenever we have to strike, be it striking to promote goodness or be it striking to destroy evil, we have to have the firmness of character, the determination. Then in one of the hands we see the conch, the shank. And when we blow the shank, we get a very melodious sound, universal sound of Om. Let's connect to that universal sound, which will enable us to balance all the energy points of our body, to balance what is known as chakras in the Kundalini Yoga, and at the same time go on Om chanting to synchronize our breath. That is going to build our physical, mental, spiritual health. Then we see the spear. The spear means fiery power. But the spear is also auspiciousness and purity, because it has always to be cleaned and kept sharp for use whenever the need arises. Like that, we need to continue to sharpen our intellect. Then we have the sword. And the sword signifies here the discerning ability, as we say, Shurasya Dhara. It's always referred to, and it's referred to like that in the Yoga Darshan. Life is like that. It's like walking on the edge of the sword. So with intellect and wisdom, we'll be walking responsibly, and we'll be also discerning right from wrong, dharma from adharma, and we'll be asserting ourselves in our duties and responsibilities. Then we have the bows and arrows. The bows and arrows signifies the potential and kinetic energies. The kinetic energy is the energy in action, and the potential energy is the latent energy, and we all have that. We have a kinetic capacities which we always use, but there is also a dormant potential in terms of our physical energy, mental energies, spiritual force, etc., which we need to unfold. And to unfold that, we need to go on the path of Yama and Niyama. Then we see the axe. Remember the axe? It is both creative and destructive. Destructive because we need the axe to cut the wood. And once the wood is cut, we can make the bonfire to cook our food and etc., or to keep heated. Or we can use that wood now converting the wood into furniture or other things. So it's both creative and destructive powers, and we all both have both of these energies, of these powers within us. Depend on which one we are going to fuel. If you fuel the destructive powers more, we'll be destroying our life, the life of our friends and relatives, the life of people around us in society. But if we are more creative, we'll be annihilating the destructive powers of this world, but also creative to promote goodness. Then the lotus signifies wisdom. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Remember, just imagine the lotus. If you've seen the lotus, it emerges from a swamp, from muddled space. But then blossoming, and all the drops on the leaves of the lotus are just shining like pearls. And if they are the petals of the lotus, they are more brilliant. So let's emerge from the muddy waters in which we are treading, remove all the ills and evils of our life, and be like the lotus, which is highly praised even when it's still there in the kitchen, in the mud. Then we also have one empty hand. This is the hand of the blessings. Because when the hand is like this for the blessings, it's always seen as empty, but it's the giving hand. And in some of the pictures, we have a snake. The snake represents consciousness, awakening, because the snake is ever on its guard, ever mindful of the environment. And this is what I've been able to decode from the picture. Even if from that picture we see the lady in action, in a fight, but look at the face, it's calm, serene outlook. This is what the Veda teaches us as Manu. To protect goodness, if we have to use to some extent, to some degree of violence, we need to use it. But then that violence is not used with hatred, with selfishness, or just for the pleasure of killing. It is used only out of necessity to promote love, to promote goodness, and to liberate from evils, from sufferings, from subjugation. And if we follow those descriptions which I've tried to decode, that will be the beginning of the journey of our soul to creative freedom, to mukti. And we need to be the Durga of our own life to reach that stage of moksha and mukti. We have to fight all the ills and evils, shun them, and promote the goodness in life, and that goodness through selfless service, through dedication, and through goodwill. If we do that, we'll be succeeding in reaching the ultimate objective of human life, mukti, moksha. Otherwise, we'll be just chanting, and we'll be just doing like, Kolu ka bail. There's one expression in Hindi. There's one pole, and the bull is tied with a rope. The rope is loose around the pole, so it can go round and round and round like this, but then it cannot spin off to do things better. But if you want really to have a successful Navratri, we have to spin off from that circle. Bring that goodness, unfold that goodness within our life. Spread love, spread compassion all around, and unfold the humane aspect of the human form of life. I just hope I've been able to bring you some insight from some contemplation, from some thinking over what the artist tried to convey to us. Just wish you all the best, and let's remember the life of Sri Ram fighting Ravan, who was more knowledgeable to him, but he had the good strategies. He had the good strategies. He was ever mindful of his strategies, of his tactics, and won and defeated Ravan, which symbolized evil. In one sense, Ram was also a symbol of, if you want to say, Durga. That's the positive, the creative, the forceful energies. Let's awaken that within us and make a better life for ourselves, for our family, and for the whole world at large. Thank you for your attention, Dhananjay, for any further information if we need to share, please. It's whistling sound. There's a whistling sound there. Dhananjay, I can't hear you because there's a whistling sound which is overriding. That's better now.
स्वामी जय जगदीश भक्त जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे जो ध्यावे पद पावे दुख बिन से मन सुख संपत्ति घर आवे कष्ट मिटे तन का ओम जय जगदीश हरे मात पिता तुम मेरे शरण गहूँ मैं किसकी तुम बिन और न दूजा आस करूँ मैं जिसकी ओम जय जगदीश हरे तुम पूरन परमात्मा तुम अंतर्यामी पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर तुम सबके स्वामी ओम जय जगदीश हरे तुम करुणा के सागर तुम पालन करता मैं सेवक तुम स्वामी कृपा करो भरता ओम जय जगदीश हरे तुम हो एक अगोचर सबके प्राणपति किस विधि मिलूं दया मैं तुमको मैं कुमति ओम जय जगदीश हरे दीन बंधु दुख हरता तुम रक्षक मेरे अपने हाथ उठाओ द्वार पड़ा मैं तेरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे विषय विकार मिटाओ पाप हरो देवा श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ संतन की सेवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे।
So thank you everybody. One just final announcement. The Arya Samaj community lost one of the greatest bhajan singers that we had in the history of Arya Samaj, Satyapal Pathik ji, who died at the very advanced age. I think he was 90 or around 90, and then he was victim of COVID-19. So when we'll be doing Shanti Path, just have a prayer, Ishvara. Wherever Ishvara is going to be fixing the soul of Satyapal Pathik ji, it may be better than what he lived in this life. Secondly, that the Greater Atlanta Vedic Temple is having the Mahayajya today. I think it's 3 to 6 p.m. I'll be sharing the link on the Facebook page of Hindu Center of Atlanta and the WhatsApp group that I have. So you may join in also there, and you may join in the Gayatri Yaj in the context of Navratri Durga Puja. That is 6 to 7 p.m. Dhananjay ji. So that's today and tomorrow is the last day of that, the Gayatri Yaj there. 5 to 6, okay. Yeah. So these are the free announcements. One is the demise of Satyapal Pathik ji. Secondly, the Mahayajya, the Greater Atlanta Vedic Temple. It will be also live streaming. I'll be sharing the links. And the links for the Gayatri Yaj at the Hindu Center of Atlanta in the context of Navratri Durga Puja, it has also been shared so many times, almost daily today. So let's now join for Shanti Path, prayers for universal peace. Sit down straight, close the eyes gently, bring the focus. We are going to pray for universal peace, connecting each and every word referring to the elements of the universe, to the respective Shanti, peace, and also acknowledging that to get peace from these elements of the universe, we need to have a peaceful behavior towards these elements. Dyo Shanti Antariksham Shanti Prithvi Shanti Apa Shanti Oshadaya Shanti Vanaspataya Shanti Vishvedeva Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvam Shanti Shanti Reva Shanti Sama Shanti Redhi Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So it says, may these celestial regions, Dyo, be peaceful, the space Antariksh be peaceful, the earth Prithvi be peaceful, the waters Apa be peaceful, the seasonal crops and medicinal plants Oshadaya be peaceful, the perennial plants and vegetation Vanaspataya be peaceful, the learned and elderly Vishvedeva be conducive to peace and prosperity, the Supreme Creator, reliever of pains and sorrows, Brahma brings us peace. May the universe Sarvam be peaceful. May peace, Shanti Reva, be peaceful. May that peace, Sama, be with us. May there be cosmic, physical and spiritual peace, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May we be free from adhyatmik, adibautik and adidevik dukh. Bhojan mantra, since that would be lunchtime for you there. Om Annapate Annasya no Deyanamivasya Sushminah Prapradatam Tarishor Janno Dehi Dvipade Chatushpade. हे अन्न के स्वामिन परमात्मन, आप हमें अन्न दो जो रोग रहित और पुष्टिकारक हो। आप अन्नदाता का कल्याण करो। दो पाए मनुष्यों और चौपाए पशुओं आदि में तेज धारण करो। O अन्नदाता, ईश्वर, give of food, kindly provide us with healthy and energy-producing food. Grant serenity to those who give food in charity. May all living beings be blessed with energy-giving food. जय घोष जो बोले स्वभय वैदिक धर्म की जय। जगत गुरु महर्षि दयानंद महाराज की जय। गुरुवर स्वामी विरजानंद जी की जय। योगीराज श्री कृष्ण महाराज जी की जय। मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम श्री रामचंद्र जी की जय। वेद की ज्योति जलती रहे जलती रहे। वेद की ज्योति जलती रहे जलती रहे। आर्य समाज अमर रहे आर्य समाज अमर रहे। वैदिक ध्वनि ओम। वैदिक अभिवादन सभी को सादर नमस्ते। नमस्ते to everybody. Have a nice weekend. Take care and stay safe.